Today I'm gonna read Melanin, Gift of the Cosmos by Jade Asikiwe. Melanin, Gift of the Cosmos. Explore the mystery of melanin, black civilization, and melanated being as it relates to the universe. What is it about the sun that comforts us in a way similar to none? That natural force that awakens you from unconscious. Those warm sun rays piercing the sky, gleaming down on your body in a positive frequency. That natural calm that occurs when you take a moment to appreciate the universe as you raise self-awareness. The cool breeze that passes over your shoulder and puts you at ease with your surroundings. We are creatures of light, love, and peace. Within us lies the information of the universe, a sweet sacred element known as melanin. Melanin has numerous health benefits for the body, but it also exists on a cosmic level. This sacred element is found in a small amount in every creation, even inanimate objects. People who possess concentrated amounts of melanin are advantaged when exposed to the sun. Melanated beings are vibrant creatures deeply rooted in the cosmos, known for the living in the harmony with nature. They are the original beings of the earth. Melanin is a chemical produced by the pineal gland of the brain. Through autopsies performed of deceased soldiers during the Vietnam War, it was learned that pineal gland of the brain is larger in African Americans. The darker pigment of skin is a result of the melanin, but many more discoveries are known. Melanin exists as a powerful spiritual energy. It is much more than just the pigment of one's skin color. Melanin is also the core fundamental unit that makes up the entirety of the universe. It emits and absorbs energy, works in the brain, and digests information from sunlight. Melanin makes you more receptive to all the energy sources on the light spectrum, much more than a person lacking this element. This is because the color white is naturally reflective and pushes away all light, while black, the color of melanin, absorbs all light. It is this ability to absorb and see the entire spectrum of light that makes melanated beings unique. By seeing and emitting all the lights on the spectrum, they access heightened creativity and knowledge of the universe. Recent studies have shown that light actually carries within it intelligent information. When you receive sunlight, you are essentially downloading and converting new information from the universe. You can charge this energy and help it flow, while giving you greater ideas and enlightened perspective. Melanin, therefore, is a driven power of the universe and connected to us all both physically and energetically. As you read this book, you will unlock the knowledge of increase in understanding your identity. You will learn how to increase the melanin contained in your body and exponentially your abilities to attract what you desire in life. You will also learn about what to avoid in regards of nutrition and how melanin exists on a cosmic level. Keep your mind open to the pure, fulfilling life that you can lead as you learn the key components of life, love, and energy. Chapter 1. What is melanin? Most people know melanin only as its physical manifestation, as it is the presence of melanin within a person that determines how light or dark their skin tone is. However, it is also much more. It is the dark matter present in every being in the universe, existing on even a cellular level. It is the core unit of existence with the power to emit and absorb energy. It also improves digestive function, vision, and the inner workings of the brain. Produced by the pineal gland, it is still found in every organ in the human body, flowing through the blood and being present in every subatomic particle of the body. The purest form of melanin is black because it absorbs all colors. It is found in the eyes, the hair, and the skin of people of African descent in varying degrees. The darker that the melanin is, the more concentrated it has taken form. The more concentrated it has taken form. Melanin, what does it mean? Melanin, like most words, can be broken down into its origin to form an understanding of the full term. The first part of the word, mel, is derived from the Greek word melano, which means black. Anin is derived from the word amine, which describes a functional group with a nitrogen base and additional hydrocarbons. Therefore, melanin means black amine. This definition makes sense because melanin is the black in its purest form. This is because melanin works like any other thing seen by the human eye. For the human eye to see color, it is captured as a reflection from light. Only when light is reflected from the surface of an object or a being will there be color. When a surface has no color and reflects no light, it appears black in color. Melanin cells, when in their purest form, have absorbed a large amount of energy. Since melanin never loses that energy, once it becomes pure, it will always remain black. Now, it has been described that melanin is black in its purest form. But what about when it is not pure? Melanin is a pigment. As a pigment, it has varying shades that can exist in the human body. Melanin can be tinted anywhere on the spectrum from yellow to pure black. It is most often yellow tinted in Caucasian and Asian people and exists in its purest form in those with a darker skin color and a rich African heritage. About pineal and melanin. Interestingly, melanin absorbs all types of energy, such as sunlight, electromagnetic, music heard by the human ear, and sounds the human ear cannot hear. Phone waves, radio waves, radar, computer radiation, X-ray, cosmic rays, ultraviolet rays, heat waves, microwaves, etc. Very similar to the expression, you are what you eat and listen to. Melanin uses the energy in the entire universe, such as water energy, Earth, Moon, Sun, galaxy, cycles of the planets, cycles of the minerals, etc. Let me read that again. Very similar to the expression, you are what you eat and listen to. Melanin uses the energy in the entire universe, such as water energy, Earth, Moon, Sun, galaxy, cycles of the planets, cycles of minerals, etc. On the molecular level, the melanin particles called electrons, protons, neutrons, and solitons rearrange their orbit. This is called resonance. In other words, the melanin particles vibrate and rearrange themselves to fill the weak, low energy sites. Resonance causes a particle to move. This movement causes a small gap, low energy, site, and the other particles rearrange themselves to double bond shape, fill the gap. Melanin is a natural chemical that makes black people's skin black. It is present in black people's bodies, skin, cells, nerves, brain, muscles, bones, reproductive and digestive systems, and all bodily functions in a higher amount than all other races. Melanin is a biological active substance of various size cells. It is made of nutrients such as indolines, histamines, phenylalanine, catecholamines, norepinephrine, epinephrine, dopamine, etc., and the amino acid tyrosine. Melanin is made of various attached parts called chains, which are linked to unsaturated carbon, saturated carbon, nitrogen, organometallic ether, peroxides, quinine, which are brown to black in color. Chemicals such as flavin, piperidines, flavonoid, naphthoquinone, polycycloquinone, intraquinone, phenozazine convert into melanin, known as polymerize or copolymerize. The color of melanin appears as black because it is absorbing all colors. Once the color enters the melanin, it cannot escape. Melanin concentrated colors. It is a cellular black hole similar to the black holes in outer space. The human eye only sees colors that are reflected away from an object. If an object appears black in color, that means that the object is absorbing all colors except black. Black is reflected away from the object. Consequently, you see black. Black is a pigment color that makes carbon black in appearance. Melanin on a scientific level. Melanin in synthesis, produced by the body when the chemical dihydroxyphenylalanine is catalyzed by tyrosine. Pardon me, it's a big word here. The amino acid tyrosine is the key to this process. Tyrosine is both produced by the body and can be supplemented with pills or naturally by increasing the intake of certain foods. It is found in unique cells called melanocytes. Inside these melanocytes are vesicles called melanosomes, where tiny granules of the pigment melanin can be found. Over time, the melanosomes detach themselves from the melanocytes, moving through the body into other cells, eventually making their way to the epidermal cells. These are the cells found in the two topmost layers of your skin, and the concentration and distribution of the melanin pigment determines how light or dark your skin appears. Melanin also absorbs light from a scientific viewpoint, but not in the same way that is known to exist in the cosmos. The darker color absorbs light and protects the DNA of the body from the harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. So this is a precept of the alchemical process of melanin, of the work that it goes to be as is. So to continue on, the melanin exists throughout the body. It is concentrated in several key areas. It is found predominantly in hair, skin, the irises, meaning pupils, of the eyes, the locus, coraculus, and substantia nigra of the brain. The stria vascula is of the inner ear and the zona reticularis and medulla of the adrenal gland. There are three major types of melanin in the body. Each play a specific role. These are the three major types of those types of melanin, who happens to have a specific function in relation to its activity. Uromelanin, which is found only in small amounts. These small amounts can do things like make hair blonde in color. Second type, pheomelanin, which is found in the skin and hair. This melanin may give red and pink colors to red-haired people. Though it is darker than uromelanin, it is not as protective against ultraviolet radiation. Third type of melanin, Neuromelanin, which is found throughout the brain. Deficiencies in neuromelanin may cause many types of neurological disorders. Though you may find scientists who ignore the incredible information that can be derived from an abundance of melanin, it cannot be denied that it exists all in the body of each person on the planet. It is necessary for most bodily functions. Comes in three different. Read that again. It is necessary for most bodily functions. Comes in three different forms. It must be present to help protect from cancer-causing ultraviolet radiation. The sun is not the enemy of the melanated being. Right? Melanin on a cosmic level. The scientific side of melanin has been established for many years, though for a long time scientists have believed it to be only a pigment to hair and skin color. The truth is that it plays many incredible roles in the body, but the scientific definition only begins to scratch the surface. Melanin can also be described as a spiritual energy. It is incredibly powerful because while it can absorb light from all sides of the spectrum, it does not reflect much light. One way to think of melanin is as a partially charged battery. This battery is always ready to accept and store more electrical charges. These electrical charges are energy which can be created by focusing on then storing things like sound and light. There are four primary types of melanin that exist on a universal level. This includes planetary, cosmic, plant life, including fungi and bacteria, in the animal kingdom, which we are a part of. As someone of African descent, you have rich melanin sources that exist in pure to near pure form. In modern times, the larger amount of melanin found in Africans was not known about until the Vietnam War. When soldiers were killed during the war, they were shipped overseas to America before undergoing an autopsy to determine the cause of death. During these autopsies, the soldiers' brains were dissected. As scientists examined the brain, it was found that the pineal gland found in the brain of a Caucasian person was smaller than the pineal gland found in an African soldier's. Melanin in ancient Egypt. A highly debated historical topic is what the skin color of ancient Egyptians was. When people hear the term Egyptian, some projected as a predominantly white society. Even though Egypt exists geographically in Africa, it is commonly believed that Egyptians are white, coming from north and south of the Sahara Desert, and having different skin tones that were lighter in nature. A major influencer of this opinion was a French scientist, Professor Pierre-Fernand Cisaldi. In 1975, an unpreserved mummy was uncovered in Egypt. Ramesses II was flown to France to be preserved by Professor Cisaldi. The mummy of Ramesses had well-preserved hair, which was reddish in color. It was concluded that Ramesses II was a fair-skinned person that had ginger-colored hair. This discovery of this pigmentation heavily influenced the opinions of many scientists during the time, especially since there was not yet data that could disprove it. However, another theory in 2008 described the Egyptians as an incredibly diverse race, with its inhabitants coming from all over Africa. This would explain why the pigmentation of Ramesses was not representative of the entire race of ancient Egypt. Later in the 1970s, a group of scientists developed the Black Egyptian hypothesis. This hypothesis has since been adopted in the Afrocentric belief system, stating that ancient Egypt was a society predominantly made of melanated individuals. There are even some modern scholars that recognize this idea to an extent, agreeing that Nubians, indigenous Egyptian, and many pharaohs had a black ancestral line. However, the beliefs under the Black Egyptian hypothesis claims that all of Egypt from the northernmost to the southernmost parts of the country was a black civilization. It is also believed that there are links to sub-Saharan cultures that prove this relationship. Additionally, there are many individuals who exist during what is known as the dynastic time period who were believed to be black, including notable men and women of history, including the inspiration for the Great Sphinx of Giza, King Tutankhamun, and Cleopatra. Today, there are still many scholars who support this idea, including Sheikh Anta Diop, Martin Bernal, Chancellor Williams, W.E.B. Du Bois, Sagan Magbabiola, Yvonne von Sertima, and John G. Jackson. These scholars debated with others about the validity of the Black African hypothesis throughout the 20th century, with many of them using the descriptive terms Egyptian, African, and Black interchangeably in their writing. Research, and speech. One of the most influential of these scholars was Sheikh Anta Diop, who used a multifaceted approach to uncover the truth about the presence or lack thereof of melanin in the ancient Egyptians. Diop tested skin samples from the Egyptian mummies uncovered during the Marian excavations by putting them under a microscope. Between dermis and epidermis of the skin, melanin levels were tested, and it was found that they were undeniably black. Diop also tested blood samples, finding that many of them had the B blood type, which is most common in African race. However, this research was not completely conclusive since the Egyptian samples were all from the same excavation site. A 2017 study involved the extraction of DNA from 151 mummies of Egypt uncovered in the Middle Egypt territory of Absu el-Malek. The DNA in the immune mummies were some of the first that were uncontaminated and completely intact. According to the age of the mummies, they lived during the time period of the late New Kingdom and the early Roman era, from the years 1388 BCE to 146 CE. They were able to uncover completely DNA for They were able to uncover complete DNA for 90 of the mummies uncovered, which showed similar profile during the entire period of time. Additionally, 3 of the mummies were analyzed to find Y-DNA, which is a common mitochondrial profile for North Africans and Middle Easterners. Even so, this single site still had a limited portrayal of all ancient Egyptian life. Another major proponent of this claim that all of Egypt was black is the intelligence of ancient Egyptians. The Egyptians built the pyramids and are responsible for many of the inventions we have in today's society. Man has learned a lot from the life of the ancient Egyptian. Many of the scholars supporting the Black Egyptians hypothesis believe they must be black because of the power of melanin. Already, it was known that the melanin that caused darker skin pigmentation did not serve just the purpose of determining skin tone. It was already known that melanin could absorb and exude a creative energy. This is shown through the ancient texts that describe the Egyptians' great machines as well as their ability to fly in gliders, measure the distance from Earth to the Sun, and electroplate gold. Many other societies were overshadowed by the ancient Egyptians as society spread, and the Egyptians became known as masters of magic, like remote viewing, psychokinesis, and precognition. The final factor in the Black Egyptian hypothesis is the belief that all of civilization stemmed from the ancient Egyptians. It is believed that they were the first human society created. The evidence behind this is the purity of some men and women of African descent. When a person of lighter skin tone has children with someone of a darker skin tone, it is impossible to keep same purity of melanin. Therefore, it would only make sense that those African descent were among the first living on earth. Thus, the first Egyptians that walked the earth were black. How melanin works as a creative power. Have you ever heard of techniques like positive thought or positive visualization? These two techniques requires the practicing individual to think about what they wish to bring into existence. They think of how they would like a situation to play out or what desires they have. The creative power of melanin, as you will see as you read through the book, works similar in this way. The abundance of melanin within your being allows you to attract the vibrations from the universe that align with the energy you are putting forth. Imagine for a moment that you desire inner peace and no longer stimulate from worldly desires. You will send out a positive high vibration to attract that positive event that will lead to you advancing down that path. You have probably heard the expression like attracts like. Well, this isn't always true of people. It is always true of cosmic energy. The thoughts that you have in the way that you put forth your energy in the world attracts whatever you put out. If you continue to think that you will never be successful, that is what is going to happen. Instead, put out the positive vibe that you will find a solution. This solution will attract itself to your vibrational frequencies, bringing the ideas that you create into the physical world. And that is the end of Chapter 1, Melanin, Gift of the Cosmos by Jade Asikiwe.